Hello everybody and welcome to my preview of the Wimbledon draw. As you know, Wimbledon is the most famous, the most traditional and most prestigious tennis tournament of them all. It's the biggest one. It's the one that everybody wants to win. And as a little child, I always enjoyed to watch Wimbledon. It is actually one of my favorite tournaments. So what can we say about the draws? After this seeding section was done, there was some complaints from Nadal and from Nadal fans that he has the toughest draw, like it was a horror draw, like it was impossible for him compared to the other competitors like Novak and especially Rogers, that some thinks that he should have the number 3 seed spot if you look at the ranking. But Wimbledon have their own style, their own tradition, and British people, they are very special, I can tell you. And they have their own thing. They even have their own dress code at the Wimbledon, so it's like a royal tournament, you know. So, but it's nothing new. That it has been for 100. This is the 133rd edition of Wimbledon, so these rules actually don't come as a surprise, you know. And if you look at Nadal's draw, he has a potential second round match against Nick Kyrgios, who he lost against at Wimbledon in 2014 in the 4th round when Nick Kyrgios was 19 years old. When you look at Nadal's draw, his section, I think he has a pretty not that tough draw, because in the first round he has this Japanese guy Sugita that he should beat in 3 straight sets without a doubt. And in the second, this is gonna sound crazy, but I think his match against Nick is his toughest match until the semifinal, you know. Because as you have been watching these players around the ATP Tour, you know that these two guys have some difficulties between each other. So this match is gonna be a huge match if Nick survives his first round match against his fellow teammate from Australia, Jordan Thompson. And after that, in a potential third round, he can meet Denis Shapovalov, the hyped teenager from Canada, or Jo-Wilfried Tsonga, who is looking at the second spring here, because he has been in solid form the last 3 weeks. He lost a very close match to Federer at Halle, you know, as you know. And then in a potential quarterfinal, he will probably be facing Dominic Thiem. But I don't think that this is one of my upsets alerts of the tournament. I don't have many. There will be gonna be many, because Wimbledon is very, very unpredictable. It's a fast tournament. You can survive a long time with your serve. This is a tournament when you see the most upsets of them all, because it's a fast playground. It's a surface that you don't have that much margins like in clay. You can lose your serve and then the set is pretty over. It could be. So Thiem will have a difficult match in the first round against Sam Querrey, who recently lost his final at Eastbourne against Taylor Fritz. So, and Sam Querrey has been doing well at Wimbledon before, as I recall, and he's a very, very good grass court player. He has a good serve. He will make Thiem work for his money. Even if Thiem wins that match, he can. He's not that kind of a bad player on grass. But I think it's like that with Thiem. He's still very inconsistent sometimes. So I don't think he will go to the quarterfinal in Rafa's section, to be honest. My guy there will be Marin Cilic. So if you rank all the 8 players that's gonna participate in quarterfinals, I have some thoughts about it. And to begin, I will start with the second bottom of the draw, where Federer is top seeded as number 2. He had a pretty solid and nice draw, but not without obstacles, because he could face either one of Gasquet or Lucas Pouille in the third round, I think, and maybe, if I'm not mistaken, Borna Coric in a potential fourth round. Or so Roger doesn't have that tough draw, but he have some difficult opponents, especially Borna Coric. He can do some damage for sure. And the other guy is the big surf phenomenon from America, John Isner. Look, I've just checked at the draw. I'm not 100% sure, but if everything is like I saw, that means that John Isner could face Roger Federer in quarterfinals, because I don't think that as many of the hyped YouTube sites or social media has put Kei Nishikori as a potential quarterfinal player against Roger Federer. Sure, he can reach the second week, but I don't think he will go to quarterfinals this time. I think the guy that's gonna meet Roger Federer in the quarters are John Isner. And then you have Rafael Nadal on his section. And there I think Marin Cilic, like I told you earlier, because Cilic is always good at Wimbledon, even if he doesn't play good during the year. He's always like that. He played good at Melbourne, a couple of months away, he doesn't show anything, and then when it comes to grass court season, he wins. Like last year he won at Queens, but he went out, I think if it was fourth or quarterfinal at Wimbledon, I don't remember, but he's like that. He's also very unpredictable. So I think Nadal will face him, and after that, on the top half of the draw, you have, of course, Novak Djokovic, who has a very, very comfortable draw, I think. He meets Philip Kohlschreiber in the first round, who has beaten him twice, once this year at Indian Wells, if I'm not mistaken. And he has the other, the first victory against Novak came at Roland Garros French Open 2009, where he beat Novak Djokovic in 3 straight sets, if I'm not mistaken. And the other 10 matches they have played, Novak have won all of them, included the 2 latest one, where he won against him. But he's a solid player, this Kohlschreiber. I think he has been in Halle final 2012, or was it 2011? He have reached the quarterfinals of Wimbledon one time at 2012, but that was a long time ago. But on a good day, he's very unpredictable, this Kohlschreiber. So if he wakes up at the right mood and Novak isn't 100% sharp, he can have some trouble against Kohlschreiber, that's for sure. But otherwise, he will have a good run until the quarterfinals, where I predict his opponent will be Stefanos Tsitsipas, because Tsitsipas is a new upcoming star, like you know, he's ranked at number 6. He has taken big steps this year, more than I can, what do you say? He has surprised me this year. I know that he is a good, solid player, that he was gonna reach top 10 sooner or later, but not this quick. So he has a fourth round result as best results in Wimbledon, and that was last year. That's why I think he can go up a notch this year and reach the quarterfinals. He has all the tools, but this grass court preseason for him, pre-Wimbledon tournaments, has been a disappointment for Stefanos Tsitsipas. So he has obviously something to think about when he enters the draw, and it's not 100% that he will reach. Like we all know, we're going to see many upsets this year. It's not 100% sure. And we have also the number 4 seed on this draw, Kevin Anderson, who is like, you don't know his status because he hasn't played recently so much. Has been away for a couple of months, injury of course, and he's on the same section, quarterfinal section, as Alexander Zverev, Karen Khachanov, and Milos Raonic. So this is a tough one, who I think will meet in the other quarterfinals, in the fourth quarterfinals. It's either Raonic or Anderson or Zverev, and my a little upset alert, this guy can knock a couple of players out, and I think that's Karen Khachanov. He also did a good result last year where he reached the 4th round and has played better the last 2 months of this year than since his master title win at Paris in December. So this will be very interesting. So who will go to the quarterfinals? Raonic against Zverev or Khachanov against Raonic, or Anderson against Zverev? That's a very tough mission for all of these 4 players. So, but if I have to go with my guts, I think that Raonic will meet Alexander Zverev in the quarters. And as you know, Zverev has been a little bit more consistent than the last year. This year, I think he did okay results at Roland Garros, and he has he reached the fourth round last year also. So I think the quarterfinals will be between Raonic and Alexander Zverev, and that match will be a tough match. I don't want to predict more than that. It's very difficult. But if I have to choose a player, I will finally say, because everybody knows that Raonic has been in the final of Wimbledon, where he lost against Andy Murray, and that was in 2016, and he beat Roger Federer in the semifinals that year. And after that semifinal loss, Roger went to rehab, or he was injured a couple of months, and then he went on to start 2017 in that epic tournament with the epic final against Nadal. So that's my prediction. And just to name a few as upsets alerts, these guys can go very far, they can go very deep. That's interesting names. I have it's Felix Aliassime. I think Sam Querrey will reach long if he can beat Thiem in the first round. Maybe Tsonga if he can get past Shapovalov in the second round, or RBA, who is a solid grass court player, not that good but solid from the baseline. It benefits him because it's not that super fast surface anymore. And then we have some another player, but he's not good on grass, but I would love to see him together. It's 2 Italians, Fabio Fognini and Matteo Berrettini. Berrettini is on the Federer's half of the draw, and he has played very good lately. He won at Stuttgart and lost that semi-final against David Goffin. So he will go deep, I think. But remember, guys, this is Grand Slam. It's 5 sets matches. It's not a normal Masters tournament or 500 tournament. This is the big stage, you know. This big stage is where players like Rafa, Roger, and Novak shows why they are the best players and why they have been the best players the last 15 years. Why? Because they are big stage players, you know. They're consistent. They're hungry. They're competitors. They're predators. They know exactly how to prepare for a Grand Slam event. They know exactly what it takes to win a Grand Slam tournament. And that's why they have been here for almost 2 decades now, Federer, and Rafa and Novak for 1.5 decades. So this third Grand Slam of this calendar year is not an easy tournament to predict the winner. But if you look at the draw, you can clearly say that Rafa have a tougher draw than Roger and Novak. Novak has the best draw. He's seeded number 1. He should have the best draw. If you look at all the traditions and everything they value at Wimbledon, he is the number 1 seed. And that's right. Some people say it's unfair with this draw system. They have their own style. But I think it's good to have something special. That every tournament, every system is not the same. Because if you look at the French Open, there were some complaints about the tournament, about the rain delays, and we have this thing with the press conference that Thiem was busted out to favor Serena Williams and stuff like that. That's good, not good management, in my opinion. At Wimbledon, everything is strict. Everybody knows what you can do, what you can't do at Wimbledon. So that's the thing about Wimbledon, and that's why it's so prestigious, so famous, and traditional. And the tournament that everybody wants to win. And I can understand that Rafa why he's mad. But I'm thinking that he's the one who is that disrespectful, because he knows the rules. And Federer has been good on grass the couple of years. You know that. 8 finals, 19 tournament wins on grass. He's the best grass court player of all time. Why will anything change now with the seeding system, you know? I think Rafa only said that because he want to make some commotion. He just want to stir it up and maybe take some pressure off him. I don't know why he did it, but clearly he knew the outcome and the rules before. So for me, it was very, very surprising that a humble guy as Rafa could say something like that. But anyway, Rafa is such a good player. And if you look at his quality, Rafa's quality, every opponent that he has until the semi-final, he should beat them. 3-1 or 3 straight sets, I think. Like I told you, the second round match, if he meets Nick Kyrgios, will be the toughest match until the semi-final for him. And that's just my guts. I don't look at the ranking, I don't look at the points. I just look at the form and the hype around the match. So that will be a mini small blockbuster for us tennis lovers early in the tournament. And we have early matches like in the first one, Kevin Anderson against Herbert in the Herbert, or how you pronounce it is French, I don't know. And we have Thiem against Quarry. we have the French meeting with Lucas Pouille and Gasquet, and Fognini against American Francis Tiafoe, the man with the muscles, you know. So it's gonna be interesting to see. But if I have to pick my number one winner, and those two guys that's gonna play in the final, first one is Novak Djokovic, because depending on the draw, it doesn't look that hard for him. So I think Novak will go to the finals. And in the other final spot, I think it will be between Roger Federer and Rafael Nadal. And if Roger wants to win this tournament, I think he will do something that he has never done before. He has to beat both Rafael Nadal and Novak Djokovic back to back at the Grand Slam event. And that, my dear Federer friends or fans, has never happened before. And Roger is 37 years old. He's still good enough to reach semifinals and finals at Wimbledon. That's for sure. But can he beat the in-form Novak Djokovic? And before that, you have to probably beat Nadal, who doesn't surrender in 3 straight sets, you know. I think Rogers, if he's gonna beat Rafa, he has to work very, very hard. Probably 5 sets. And that will empty his tank against Novak Djokovic, because Novak Djokovic is a smart player. He knows exactly how to play against Roger Federer. He knows exactly how to move him around the court and wait for him to make his unforced errors. So if Roger beats Rafa in 3 straight sets or 3-1 sets, he have a good chance to win the final. Because you know, grass suits Federer's first strike tennis more than any other surface. Even if the grass at Wimbledon has been slower since the Sampras era, because of players like Ivan Isavic and Patrick Rafter and Richard Krajicek, they slow down the surfaces because they want to see more rallies at Wimbledon. And that benefits players like Rafael Nadal and Novak Djokovic. That's why Djokovic have 4 titles and 5 finals, and Rafa have 2 titles and 3 finals. I don't think that would happen in the pre-era of this era, because it was such a more faster courts. They even have heavier balls now. So anyway, now is now and then is then. So Roger have a very tough task. That's why I think he can beat Nadal, but he will lose the final. But if Rafa wins against Roger, then the outcome of the final will be very unpredictable. It could go either way. You all know the last year's semifinal between these two giants. That could happen for sure again, if they meet. Dark horses was Aliassime, RBA, Query, Kachanov, maybe Tsonga, if he can go that deep, if he can show some skills from before. And yeah, that was pretty much everything I had to add to this draw. So it's gonna be interesting, and may the best man win. I hope Roger will win, but that's maybe too much to ask. But you never know, upsets can happen. We can have both Rafa and Roger out before the quarters and semifinals, and the same thing can happen to Roger Federer. But does anybody believe that anyone else can win except these three giants that has been dominating tennis for so long, that this new generation can be lost in 1 or 2 years if they don't deliver? Can we see another star this year on this unpredictable surface? Who knows? I would be glad if I see someone, but unfortunately that's not gonna happen this year. Alright folks, take care, and I hope you have enjoyed this video. Bye bye for now. Thanks.